Friends, in this episode, we're going to talk about what to do if you've just been laid off and you cannot work anymore and you're here on a temporary visa. Let's say, for example, H-1B or L-1 visa. Friends, welcome to Green Card Guys TV. I'm your host, John Ting. We practice law in all 50 states of America, from the East Coast to the West Coast. Now let's get down to business here and see if we can help you. Now here is a solution to your immigration problem, if this is the case for you. Now, a lot of people give up, and there's really no reason to. You need to consult with at least a couple different immigration lawyers to see if there's a solution for you. Now, if you had this little bit, even 5% thought that you wanted to open a business in your lifetime, whether you thought it was in your own country or in America, this is the time to do it, especially if you've just been laid off or you're here on a visitor visa and your country has been very restrictive or restricted all travel into your country. So because of the pandemic, right? So some countries are like that. Now, I want to share a story with you. We've had several clients come to us over the past few months because of the pandemic. They unfortunately have been laid off. Now, even though their visa is still valid, it technically is not valid at the time that you've been laid off, and the employer is supposed to notify the immigration agency. So that's why you need to act quickly, because even though they may have told you, hey, we're going to be nice to you, we're not going to revoke your status, we're not going to notify the U.S. immigration agency, you just don't want to wait till the last second. Okay, don't wait till the last week of that. You don't want a situation where basically they lied to you, because if whoever told you that, they might not be in control of human resources, right? They may not have direct control of a channel to human resources. They put a note on it, right? They may have told someone verbally in human resources, don't touch their immigration status, don't notify immigration agency, although they're supposed to. So if it's a corporation that follows the rules, then they're not going to look at that note, right? So that's why you need to talk to an immigration lawyer as soon as possible. Now, let's talk more about the e-visa. That is the pathway, all right? There's E1 and E2. Now, number one, we have to make sure you're eligible, of course, right? It's not just about the business. Number one, we have to see if your country of nationality or birth, your citizenship, is part of the treaty traders list of the United States of America. So it might not be. India, for example, Laos and Vietnam, they're not part of this list for some reason, unfortunately. So there's other pathways for that. But for this video, we want to talk about the e-visa, okay? Because you could be eligible for it. Now, people ask me, what they can do. Because like I said before, we had some people come in. So I want to share their story a little bit without, of course, not divulging their name or anything like that, or their company. But, there's been situations where people say, what can they do? John, find me a solution. And here we have it for you, my friends, okay? Now, you do have to create a business, okay? Now, that doesn't mean you have to come up with the idea on your own, because people ask that all the time. What you can do, though, you can pay a franchise fee. It ranges, right? I mean, if you're going to pick something like Chick-fil-A or McDonald's or even Subway, even though it may not be as popular these days, but, it could be a very high franchise fee. So you want to, if you can afford it, sure. But I bet there's a long list from what I understand. So you could even go into different industries. There's no restriction on what type of industry. There's also no restriction how much money you need to show that you've invested, okay? But going back to industry, it could be a massage spa business. It could be healthcare. So that could include, like a doctor's office. It could be a dental practice. Of course, if you have the appropriate licenses in the particular state you want to move to, and also in your home country, birth country, that will be fine. But, my point is, don't feel like you're stuck in one little hole, okay? There's so many opportunities in America. America, as you know, is a capitalist country. So believe it or not, there are thousands of franchise companies, and not all of them cost $100,000, okay? Some might be even as low as $10,000. Well, in that case, they probably don't value their company as much. But look, most people in America, sure, they're going to look, U.S. citizens, resident holders, they're looking at if the company is viable. If it's, but in that case, the more viable it is, of course, the higher the fee is. So I know everyone has a different financial budget, so you need to take a look at that. Now, other thing that you need to show proof of to the USCIS is that you need to show that you put your money at risk. So this could mean you've taken out a loan. Now, again, there's no requirement how much to show that you've taken out a loan. There's also no requirement that you sign off for a loan. But here's the more simple, I guess, more likely situation is that you can sign a lease for your office space. If it's like for administrative support, it can be for a restaurant location or for retail space. So lease is one example. So people ask me, John, is a business plan by itself good enough? Unfortunately, no. A business plan is very important. They do require that. That is standard, okay? But you need more evidence of that. So give us a call. Let us talk with you, chat with you, and make sure you're eligible based on your country, first of all, okay? And see what your thought is on what type of business, okay? We can guide you to certain franchises. Now, of course, we don't get any commission from any franchise, okay? But we want to point you in a better direction, okay? We have a list that we've had good relations with, and the timing of what they do the paperwork is much quicker than what I've heard others. So let us know if we can help you the best way. If you're busy right now, text us real quick, okay? And what you can do, if you want a free 15-minute preliminary discussion, I guarantee it's probably going to, for this type of topic, it would take more than 15 minutes. But hey, if you just want to make sure that your country's on the list, share the code Green Card Guys, okay? Green Card Guys, and our cares team will schedule an appointment with you, and they'll call you within 24 hours of the business day. Now, of course, you have more time. Give us a call at this number, 346. And by the way, if you've used our 469 number in the past, we're going to call you back with the 346 number. We have an office in Dallas, but we're primarily in Houston, Texas. And of course, oh, by the way, friends, people have also asked, is a visa also available for my spouse and children? Yes, it is. Okay. There's no limitation on that exactly. And the other benefit, okay, if you stayed all the way to the end, here's the other benefit. People have asked, is there a limitation on the number of times that they can apply for this e-visa? Now, I'm not saying you've been denied or anything. I'm saying you've been approved because it's only valid for 2 years at a time. You've been approved for the first time. How many more times after that can you be renewed for this visa? There's no limitation. So we're here to help you. Now, keep in mind, though, this is not a pathway to a green card, okay? If you want a pathway to a green card for employment-based or investment-based, that is called EB-5, all right? That's $900,000 minimum investment, okay? And that money, of course, definitely has to be at risk. And that money actually has to show that you provided 12 full-time jobs. Now, if you invest through a regional center, you don't have to worry about that. But this video is not about that. But in terms of the difference with e-visa and EB-5 is that you don't have to show a minimum number of people that you offer a job to or that you hire full-time. So friends, that is another benefit, okay? So we have the answer for you. We just want to make sure that you're eligible for it, number one. And until next time, please continue wearing a mask. Talk to you.